Hi, quick video on Green Onions, Booker T and the MGs, how to play it, or a version of it, relatively easily. So the original is in F, and so I've got a capo on the first fret, so that I can play most of this stuff with open chords. You hear this bass line, and then you've got a keyboard doing the rhythm chord part, and it's more intricate than this, but it's basically, the bass line is, you got your first chord, it's a 12 bar, and your first chord is E, and you've got this bass line going, which are the notes E, G and A, and you could do it on one string, and that would be 0 fret, 3rd fret, 5th fret. Now, if I put chords to that, because that gives me the notes E, G and A, I'm going to put the chords E, G and A to it, and I'm going to get this. Okay, so I'm just doing E, G and A. With the G, I'm emphasizing the highest note that I want to hear is that B string note on the 3rd fret. And my strumming pattern is just down, up, down, up, down, up, down. There's a bit of a shuffle to it, a bit of a swing. 1 and 2, 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a... Yeah? So dum de dum de dum de dum. And then you can hear I'm emphasizing that first up strum. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2, 3, 4 and 1 and 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that's just, and yeah, the highest note I'm hearing on the E chord is that top E string, but the highest note I'm hearing on the G and the A chord is the B string. So I'm fretting my G like this, so that the underside of my 3rd finger is muting that top E string, and I'm fretting my A as a bar, so the bit of my finger that's coming away from the strings is also muting the top E string. So then, so that's your 1 chord basically in a 12 bar, and that figure around it, and then it moves to your 4 chord, which is an A, and then it's got the same figure around it. The bass line is, which is the A string open, and then 3rd fret, and then 5th fret. So same pattern as on the E. Okay, and so that gives you the notes A, C, and D. Of course, this is all relevant to the relating to the capo. I mean, because it's actually B flat, D flat, E flat, but we'll call it these by the actual chord shapes that we're using. So A, C and D giving me, and just giving me the chords A, C and D. I'm using all open chords, and my strumming pattern exactly the same, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm emphasizing that up strum again, and 1, so the up strum of the and of 4, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. You can, yeah, I can't remember exactly where the emphasis goes in the song, but this is what I would play it like when I was just mucking around. But I'm doing that, I'm emphasizing an up strum, and I'm doing open strings, basically open 4 middle strings, and then hammering on to the A shape. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Yeah, and so, and then you're back to the E, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Then you've got the 5 chord, which is B. You've got the same figure. If you did it on the B string, it would be frets 0, 3 and 5, just like on the A string and the E string. So that gives us the chords B, D and E. So I'm going to play it, I have to play B as a bar chord, or I could play it as a power chord. and I can do that thing of hammer on from an open A string to the A string 2nd fret. Whoops. So, when I play the B, if I do a power chord, I'm just going to be aiming at the A, D and G strings. If I do a full shape, I can aim at the 4 middle strings, basically. But the main thing you want to really hear is the A, D and G strings, so you might as well do a power chord, and then everything else is muted, as is the case with the power chord, yeah? So you're not going to hear the low E string, that'll be muted by the tip of the 1st finger, and you're not going to hear the B and E string, that'll be muted by the underside of the 1st finger. So that was your B, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and that was D and E, and then you're back to A, C, D, and then you're back to the E, G, A, E, G, A. Okay, hope that helps.